Hey, what's up, people? GleeCon back once more. We're diving back into the world of Warcraft today so that we can continue our exploration of everything World of Warcraft. We have covered the vast majority of everything in World of Warcraft Classic, and we are going to continue that journey as we trickle down through the final raids and Upper Blackrock Spire that's left in that few random, hard-to-get quests. But our attention is now shift to covering the rest of the entire game universe. What's in retail, and we're going through that patch by patch. So we're starting with all of the OG quests that have been available from Classic and are still available today. We're creating one of every class because you need that in order to do some of the final quests that are still available. And we're going to start our final class. We're sticking to the original 8 races for these first 9 characters just to kind of stay in theme. So we have one of each race, and we're going to now make our 9th one. We're going to make a second orc, and it will be our warrior, so that we can tackle both horde blacksmithing quests and the warrior quest needed. So stay a while and listen as we grab our orc this time. We had a female last time, so we're going to make a male. Of course he's going to be a warrior. Why would we not do that? He's going to be the mighty Gleeman, the adventurer. I like where we're going with this look already. I just want to tweak. I don't want to be neon green. I want to be more of a kind of a classic green. Maybe a dark green like that. Sure. Let's tweak that face. That war paint's really throwing me off. Let's go over to the war paint. No. Face paint? Is that what it is? Okay, we gotta go with the nun for a minute on that war paint, and yeah. I don't know why I have this kind of face stripe. Why do I have those all over my body? Ah, it's tattoo. There we go. Okay, so take both of that off. Now let's get started. Whoa, okay, first face I like okay. A little bit older, grislier. That one's okay too. Looks like that lower jaw is going to be independent of the rest of our face. I do kind of want this guy to be angry. I've avoided that with some of my other... I actually kind of just like face 1 so far. Okay. No. Face 7. Face 1. Yeah, face 1's better. Okay. Face 5 is actually pretty decent too. No. Alright, face 1, face 5. Yeah, I'm going face 5. Okay, this hairstyle of the Cron Mage. Top knot's cool. Cron Mage, cool. No, I do want something like that. I don't want the tied. I like the bolded with the top knot thing going on. Ponytail. That might be cooler. That's like hair with it. I'm good. What's this called? Barrens? Oops. Alright, I'm gonna go ponytail. I like that style. Hair color? Nah. Do we just have like a black? Yeah, just want like a black style. Beard? Kind of think I maybe want like no beard. A little stubble? Eh. A chin puff? No. It's got some... I like our customization options we're getting now. A lot more things. I'm gonna go with no beard on this guy. Let's take a look at the sideburns. Jeez, I gotta fix that. Is that seriously what we're stuck with on this jaw? Oh, tusks. I can tweak that a little bit. Let's put the sides. That's okay. I kind of think I might want... Well, that's okay. Full sideburns, bushy. If I gotta stick with that jaw, I may come back for some of those sideburns. But for now, I think I'm gonna go no sideburns either. Eye color red? Yeah, let's go deep red on that. Yeah, this dude is... He's coming. And yes, I want both eyesight. Why are they trying to sell me on this one eyesight off? Nah. Give me both. Alright, scars. A swipe. Now that can see no eyesight on that one. A cut on the lip. A burn. I could go on this cut on the lip. Sure, why not? This guy's a warrior, right? Grime. Okay, none. A dirty mouth. Dirty eyes? No, my dude washes his face. Okay, earrings. Gotcha. None. Kind of like none. Uppers, okay. Plugs? No. That's too much going on with the tusks. Oops. I'm gonna go none earrings. What about a nose ring? None. Gold, iron, little bones. I'm going none. Alright. I see you can have gold root on your tusks, a broken tusk. Iron band on a tusk? Nah, I'm good. Really? That's it? I get no... My jaws are just stuck like that, huh? Hair color, cyber... I guess so. Alright, now I would consider... Oh. Oh, you can be hunched. Ugh. No, I wouldn't be upright. Ferocity tattoo. Brutality. At least that's on the body. Immortality. I don't want it on my face, so... I actually think I'm okay. What about war paint? Beast? Ghost. Bloodlust. Ah, I'm good. I don't want none of that either. But if I did have... That red is cool. Alright. Not that it matters. Okay. Yeah, this is my dude. Just a generic orc warrior. And this is where we're gonna rock and roll. I gotta talk a little smack. My my family, my sister does, my little baby sister, she really is into shooting pool. I'm a pretty good pool aficionado myself. Play a lot of pool, and I have a pool table. Anyway, she just right before I started recording talked about wanting to come and shoot some pool this weekend. She competes. She's in a team. She does tournaments. She just made it to like All City or something like that. So she's pretty solid. But the last couple times we played, like, I spanked her butt. So now, to be fair for my part, she did have she did overserve herself a little bit, so I had a decided advantage. Guys, let's stay a while and listen. Look at our homeboy here. Yes, Gleeman, diving into the world. Now I'm going to skip our intro video because we actually already listened to that last time when we made our orc girl. I don't want to listen to it again this soon. And we are going to be a little slow today getting started because we have to get to level 5
has shattered more than just the world.
Before we can get started. We're going to continue this. Yep, set this bad boy up. Okay. Profile. Melee. Class. Medium. Bop. War bars. There we go. Okay. I already know, based on what we did before, what the racial powers are. I don't know what is causing that LVUI order here. Alright, nope. Okay, let's turn on those so we have the full option. Let's turn on auto loot, of course. And let's take this warband off. We begin with Slam, an instant now. It's no longer a 1.5 second cast. And in general, we have good old recuperation to heal ourselves. We also have the Blood Fury Racial to buff ourselves with a nice extra +1 to our attack. I'm guessing that scales with leather. The command will do nothing for us. we can wear... Starting at level 27, you get a 5% boost if we wear plate, so that's good. Stun effects are a little bit less good on us. That's about it. We're going to skip the Valley of Trials because those are all just nothing important. We're actually, there's like nothing we can really do. What we will do as we walk out in the world here, so we're going to kill everything we can. We need to get to level 5. And you know what? We're going to go through and get some quests done. We can do the 2 Harpy quests, and we can do the 4 quests that send us from Razor Hill back and forth. So we'll take the free XP in that area. And otherwise, today, our first focus is just going to be getting to level 5 before we go tackle the Barrens. Okay, so we're going to start by testing out some of our powers. We are, by the way, if you do not remember, we're going to be an oh, we have to build rage up. Okay, sorry. Pardon. We need a total of 230. So that would be off the bat. So 250, so 260, so 13 total kills just to get going right off the bat. And we've done... Looks like 3 so far. So we need about 10 more kills, and some of that's going to get deleted or given to us for free when we get XP for exploring. So we're going to walk around, we're going to explore the whole zone. We're just going to be very leisurely, taking our time in the zone to stretch our legs until we get to level 5. Now, the benefit of a forced level 5 here is that we will also be allowed to get our jobs. And this guy, I have a feeling, this is going to be dear to my heart. All right. That requires level 2, but it's a 2-handed mace. We can immediately switch over to 2 hands. I love that because that is going to be our spec. We are not going to be a shield bashing guy. We are going to be a rough and tumble. Let's go south. We're going to be a rough and tumble strong boy. An arms warrior, because I can't say never in my life. Actually, the first, I mentioned this on the show before. The very first max level character I ever had back in the day of Classic and PvP, and TB to Burning Crusade, look, we got another one-handed weapon, was a Tauren Arms Warrior. Could not tell you what their name was, don't really remember. But I really enjoyed that class, it was cool. However, the second that I hit whatever the max was back then, 60, then 70, so probably 70, because I think it was Burning Crusade. Look, we got Custard, a troll druid that already has cat form. How are they doing? Oh, he's bringing a bunch over. He has a poison extraction totem? Oh, that must be for a quest. So, I don't know if they needed that or not. They look like they were about to die. But that might just be my old classic style. So this actually... What? They have this cool... Oh. He's wearing... They are wearing a full-on heirloom set. I do have access to most of those heirlooms. Just didn't... Actually, we need to go... I think... How did we go? Anyway, that armor we just picked up, this loose chain vest. There we go. Boom. Just like that, we're level 2. That is a great way for us to begin. We can now charge. charging. We can also now put on this beat stick. Perfect. So I've taken off my shield now. This armor that I just gained is not even as good as what we have. The beat stick here is 0.7 DPS. That's the exact same as this wood charger. I don't care. Well, I guess we could put that on. If that is, but no, I want the two-hander. I don't want the block. We got to get used to it. We're gonna be arms warriors here. Yeah. So now we have that 1-2 punch. And here is a quest. We can actually kill some Northwatch people. It's pretty cool. This is new. We can only charge the cooldown on that's a little bit low. What? Why do we only gain 18 XP? Alright, so that was another thing. We just gained... I don't know. We just explored that. I don't know if we get any points for it. So our mana degeneration is coming around. I guess we could swim out a little bit too to the Senjin Isles. Get going. Oh yeah. I think with the bash and everything, I think what we got going on, it's going to be better if we... There we go. Gain Dark Spear Strand. We did gain, even though there's nothing that appeared on the map. We gained some life. I meant to say XP. Alright, how's this shield compared to our starting shield? 30 block. It's actually, a lot of this gray stuff we've been finding is worse than our starting gear. Alright. We're going to go to the Senjin village in just a second and sell, but I wanted to expose the Echo Isles on the map. As we cruise. Things are very, yeah, there you go. Things are very... Like, the killing is pretty fast. I don't know if it's just being a melee warrior, but this feels like a pretty fast growth. There is a nice fishing trainer that we can't use because we're not level 5. So. But getting grind or charge as our second spell is pretty cool. I'm just gonna sell off everything. I don't care. Except for that. I guess I could have sold the chunk of board. I could keep... Chunk of board meat I should keep. Because that one I know is an easy, like, cooking recipe right off the bat. And I feel like we're gonna... Alright, so here's Senjin Village. There's some boats. I guess that's probably where you will arrive if you take a little rowboat over. And here's our first flight path. So we can at least talk to it, and it will maybe open some things up for us. But again, there's not really a lot we can do. We're already at 2 silver. Good on us. We could get a bat if we want.
What you want?
Okay, nothing new popped up because I wonder if the first couple times things popped up is because there's some new flight paths, even more flight paths than used to exist before. Ah, Senjin Village Outskirts has now appeared. That gained us XP. We are needing 242, so we need more now almost than we did to reach the entirety of level 1. And we're more than halfway. That's quite alright. Yeah, so Protection Warrior is definitely off the table because in Classic we played a Protection Warrior. We only had one warrior in all of our runs before we rebooted. We did a male orc warrior protection. Also, I've had a couple protection warrior. I mean, I do have a couple warriors in retail sitting around, and my main warrior is a Mechanome Protection Warrior. So that just takes that one off the table. But not counting that one, which I do actually... It's one of my more recent characters played because in the Shadowlands and even the beginning of Dragonflight, that was one of my... If I wanted to tank on Alliance, that was my mythic and raiding tank character. So I was solid at tanking on that character. But either way, I played moderately recently. And then I actually have a Maghar Orc female warrior. So as you can see, me and Orc warriors, I am not afraid of that iconic connection. Alright, what do we got here? We have these pants, but now I want to stay in male. I'm not going to, even though it might be a temporary upgrade. Now this is, oh, that's male anyway. It's not good. I want to stay in plate is what I meant to say. Anyway, and she was Fury. And there we go, boom. Level 3 just like that. That gave a shield slam. So, for now, I'll stick this over here because I just don't see myself, or maybe I'll stick it up here. Don't tell anyone. Sticking it up there, guys. But we're not going to use a shield, so... A little bit silly. 33 physical damage with the shield slam. Normally, we're kind of avoiding that because I'm not going to, like I said, have a shield. Patchwork bracers. We need that. We need to get to our next shop soon so that we can sell. Unless one of these guys will be so kind as to drop us a bag. As we slowly work our way up through the area. 2 more levels, and then we will be ready to go to the Barrens. Now, Barrens, I'm not sure which quests are going to be available. Unfortunately for the Barrens quests, they are... split over 2 pages. It's a little more annoying to parse through. And it's Northern Barrens, by the way. There are 2 zones, Northern and Southern Barrens. No Southern Barrens quests are OG quests, but there is a pretty sizable amount of Northern Barrens quests. This is also our transition in terms of game tier. This is the boundary line between taking us through tier 3 zones into tier 4 zones. It's also, so in many ways, this is the boundary line. The Barrens is the boundary line zone that is bringing you to the halfway, no, the middle of the game. It's the beginning of the kind of, oh, look, here's some Quillboars. It's the beginning of the, like, halcyon days of being a young adventurer. Okay, so here's the Razorman grounds. We opened up their grounds there. Okay, let's sell in our little town here. Now, there's not a lot in the middle chunks. The middle zones of the game, I would say, are like maybe zones 5, 6, and 7. Can he? He does sell. Good. I'm gonna keep the cloth because we're gonna need that for selling. I mean, for leatherworking. Love it. Alright. Cool. So when we enter Tier 4 is where in Classic the game starts to get frustrating. In this, it's not really going to change a lot, I think. There's Thousand Needles, which we will not cover at all, which is Tier 4. And there's Desolace, which we actually do have a few Desolace quests. At that point in time, some dungeons will come off. Right around... Actually, before we do Desolace, we'll probably hit up the Nomergon quests. So we will actually have to run Nomergon. It's one of the few quests that we'll have to do. So that's what's going to be a sort of So that's going to be next for us. So that's cool. Once we finish doing Barrens, which I think might take a couple episodes, this one and maybe tomorrow too, we will have a... Look, that's a +1 stam sword. That's a pretty nice sword. But because I'm using the beat stick, it's just going to be...
I'm out of range.
Dang it. Oh. It's going to be not useful. I'm pretty sure with arms, there's like an imperative to use two-handed weapons. That's how it used to be. Could be wrong. What's going on over here? Alright, so actually the South Fury watershed, it looks like it's kind of the whole area lost in the floods, so we can kind of make our way north. But his killing is just fast. Think about what we were just doing, how much time we just spent leveling up our Troll Priest, and how difficult that was compared to what we're doing right now. He's just literally coming in. Oh, a rare. Captain Flat Tusk. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and increase my rage. Yes, we got a bag from Captain Flat Tusk. Absolutely worth it. I don't see a chest around here. Cool if we could find one of those. But it's okay, because we have an entire crew, as I did on Alliance, we're not gonna be buying anything on the auction house. We're gonna, with instant mail, we are gonna phone a friend for everything we do. And we're not gonna use characters from our from my old life either. We are gonna just use this new squadron. So this crew of 9, and that crew will grow. Ultimately, we're gonna have, I don't know how many classes are there. I always have this. There we go. I love it. We are now level 4. We gained Hamstring. Hamstring's a pretty neat ability. So, Hamstring, I'll put right there. Hamstring gives us the ability to stop enemies from running away. It does very little damage, but it slows them down. So it's a nice PvP skill. It's also just a good skill for crowd control. Now, the Arms Warrior is more of a PvP spec. It's my understanding. That's kind of how it leans nowadays, but... I know it's because of that, playing it outside of PvP is almost meme-worthy. But I don't care. Oh, you know what? Let's go, really quick, let's go back to Razor Hill. And do that quest series, wherein we go back and forth between Orgrimmar. Or maybe we shouldn't. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not, because I kind of want to be... Actually, I do want to go to Razor Hill. Nah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Ultimately, if we go to Orgrimmar and go out to the Barrens, yeah, we'll go that way. Cost 20 range for Snow. I just gained Loose Chain Pants, which that's going to be male. So we need him to start dropping us some plate stuff.
It's too far.
We're on the road. On the road again. Yeah, and when I did my Fury, I know Fury is very popular. I know it's particularly popular in, Classic also, because of that. It does good damage. Jeez! He does not like jumping. This guy's afraid of heights for sure. Come on, Glee Man. Be better. There's some harpies. Here is Scratch Fever and Ted Nug. Is that supposed to be like Ted Nugent? And is Scratch Fever maybe a Ted Nugent type of song. That guy's name is Ted Nugent. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. I just put that together. Ted Nugent Scratch Feet. It is a song by Ted Nugent. Thought so. I thought to myself, I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. I'm like, is that a Ted Nugent song? Alright, here's one of the only quests we can do. We already did this quest, so again, I'm going to kind of skip through.
Time is money, friend.
We'll pick up both at once.
Good. Have a good one.
Go get a little bit of free XP to get the... This is going to drop us all the way... We're going to be done after this. Because we will be able to be very close. This will probably hit level 5, and we'll still... I mean, then we don't even have to do the Razor Hill quests. But we can. But yeah, we should easily be able to murder... What are we getting? Just kill 12 harpies? Okay, fine. Fine with that. And then we also need 5 sacks of supplies, so... Not too bad. What do we get there? Some patchwork shoes? Nah. Yeah, and we'll be able to start collecting our ore. Could level up too. Oh. So we are actually cruising. This was a lot faster than when we tried to do this leveling up experience as a priest. Shocker. Leecon has more fun playing a class other than priest. It's definitely a tough call for me. What is that guy? Put it in my bank is the name of that character, who is a level 10, riding on some kind of crab. Now he's got the celestial. That's actually one of the cool mounts. I don't know if I have that one. There's another bag. There we go. Okay, we need 3 more harpies. Then we're ready to rock and roll on this character. Bags are done. Bags are set. This is coming out in the middle where we passed by on the way, the road. Let's see if we can get 3 more. We may have to go a little deeper into the old canyon here. Look at that! I mean, it's great. We have 2 quests, and that's going to be 2/3 of our leveling up. There you go. We just found Dry Gulch Ravine, which also gave us some. There's Erg, same guy. Put it in my bank. Okay, buddy. Here is a Death Knight. Rashi the Fearless. I'm not even using any of my names that I've earned. There's another one. Chuggy Monkey the Kingslayer. Old Chuggy Monkey. And we did it. Alright, so we're outie now. Level 80. Blood decay or something. Just chilling. Actually, I couldn't tell you if it was blood. I thought it was. Alright, now these 2 quests are going to level us up to 5. Then we're going to head back to Razor. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe screw that. If that gets us to 5, we can skip that whole quest line. We can go right into Orgrimmar to learn all of our professions. And then head to Northern Barrens to finally begin our journey. And how long did that take us? Altogether, character creation and getting to level 5 took us 35 minutes. So, not too shabby. Meanwhile, it took us to get to level 5 and get up to Ashenvale. Took us like 2 hours. So, I don't know. We did something wrong. clearly walking around and exploring the zone was the way to go while we killed mobs. But to be fair, this guy's killing mobs 2 to 3 times faster than our priest was.
Hey, how you doing?
I don't care about either sword because they're both just one-hand swords.
Keep it real. Be good. Have a good one.
Oh, we didn't quite get there. What do we need? Oh, 20 XP? Alright, we'll get that just for discovering Orgrimmar, and if not, we'll kill a single mob out front. There is also a little area we haven't explored right out here, so... go ahead and get this last piece of the map so that we can be level 5. What do we got here? There we go. Alright, that gave us Victory Rush. It is an instant strike, 14 damage, and it heals us. Only usable within 20 seconds of killing an enemy. So, it's a pretty good move. You want to always be able to use that when you can to keep that life up. But you can only use it at most once per mob. And it inspires you to go fast, fast, fast. It's just a way of getting a little bit of life back, especially, it's actually, I don't even know what spec. I guess if you're tanking and you're killing a bunch of mobs. What is this? What the heck? Oh, that's a Dark Spear Headhunter outfit? That is weird looking. Huh. Weird. What are you? Oh, you're a furniture salesman. I forgot. Okay. There you go. I gained in total 2 more silver. And we are off. Alright, on the way here, I want to stop at the Broken Tusk to set my Hearthstone. Oops. And
Mogra. Be safe.
then we're going to go learn all of the other professions. I think in the middle, archaeology is in the middle here. I remember just from doing this with our troll a couple days ago. Look, there's a Volpira, Crash and Thrash and Ratchet. I have that. I have a lot of the achievements, titles. I don't remember all of them, but there's our archaeology trainer. So we are going to burn a little bit of money.
State your business.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So it took 90 silver, 90 copper. So just shy of 1 silver to learn everything archaeology related in the game. Not too shabby. Still have to learn cooking. Cooking should be on the drag as we start. There's a meat vendor. Oh, is there a brew of the month? Reagents person. Couple more Dark Spear Headhunter. That's cool. An Evoker. It's just a cooler little vibe on the town. With all the different races being reflected. The Gob Squad. AF at MOD. Here's the drag. This should be where we get... Here's our cook right here. Infantry chef. Okay, we can start there. Teach me cooking, bro. And sure, I will learn Cataclysm cooking as well. 10. Okay, so altogether that took another 50 copper. And we're good on that. So now I can add... We can add surveying, and we can add cooking to the list of things. Cool. Fishing is still on the list. What about calendar? Anything coming up? Where are we at right here? So we are... I think we're fine. I think it's not until February. The first... Oh, Love is in the Air actually starts prior to Lunar Festival. So, Love is in the Air will be the first event we begin. And then we'll start Lunar Festival. They kind of overlap for half that time. So those are two things. Love is in the Air we don't have to do on Classic though, but we do have to do on this game. Alright, yeah, we gotta go in this portion of the town. Valley of Honor. And I think fishing is over here too. We're gonna also need a mining pick and a blacksmith hammer. Gonna have to buy some of that. We don't necessarily need to buy a fishing pole. I think you can fish without one now. But if I have the money, sure, I'll buy one. There's River. Oh, you can pet him? Come here, little boy. You liked it? There's our Lapira with their llama, alpaca, whatever. Bunch of turtles just chilling. Always cool stuff, always cool stuff. Little baby Murloc, Murky. Alright guys, teach me fishing. This is gonna be 1, 3, 4. Another almost a silver.
Strength and honor.
1
Dabu.
copper for a fishing pole, so absolutely worth it. And let's open up our fishing journal and put our fishing pole right in there. What does it do for us? I don't think it does anything. We just can have one now. We can have fishing gear. So that's good. We've learned cooking, fishing, archaeology, so now we just have to learn our actual real jobs. The blacksmithing and the mining. So that's cool. Alright, what do we got here? Here is our mining supplies. Mining trainer. Teach me mining. Yep. Cataclysm mining. Definitely. And then the obsidian bars. Great. Okay, so we are going to need to have the smelting. So we're going to bring the mining journal up. And we need to buy a mining pick. That is a silver. That one's a little strong.
Farewell.
Okay, that's jewel crafting in there. So open up that mining journal now so that we can equip our pick. Get that out of our bag. And +4 mining skill too. Hey, take that. Just a little boost. And last thing we need now is blacksmithing. I see a blacksmithing trainer up in there. I did have, the other day when I was like, what's going on with this, not having a blacksmithing trainer and Iron Forge, that was accurate. That was true. And now this is more expensive. Teaching us all this crazy stuff. Okay. Alright, so we've spent half of our money now, slowly but surely. We also need to buy... There you go. A hammer.
What are you looking for?
Cool. Just one.
For the horde.
Alright, so that's good though that they're not making us get... Let's add blacksmithing onto the list. Open up the list. And take our blacksmithing hammer. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, we are now fully bedecked. Hearthstoned up. Ready to rock and roll and head out into the world. Alright, so now... We're going to open up this quest area, and we are going to post Northern Barrens. Ironically, not even a zone, but it will count for the Barrens on all of our previous quests. So, we're just going to take a peek here and look place by place when we go into the Barrens. Where can we go? What can we do? We're going to go starting at the top, kind of work our way over. So here we have Northern Barrens. It is this whole area. We're going to come out right up here. Samaflange is available up there. I believe that's where we're coming. Yeah, we're going to come right up there by Nozzlepot's outpost, which is this. And we're going to just look at that area. We'll kind of stay north, and we'll slowly filter our way down to the south, looking at zones, whatever. And at some point in time... I mean, at the rate this character's leveling up, and you're going to throw in quests, and you're going to throw in ore and blacksmithing. Now, another thing we have to look at is the blacksmithing portion. So let's go ahead and duplicate this tab for two reasons. One, I want to be able to look at blacksmithing. Two, we'll be able to jump between the two tabs quickly. So blacksmithing for horde. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It all requires us to be level 15 to even do them. So no chance to really stress that yet. They are picked up in Orgrimmar. So when we get to level 15, they also require, comments say, it looks like a lot of bronze. Come on. This does say you're going to need to hunt down some of these. So anyway, we will think about that after. That's going to be mid-tier when we're around level 15. At some point, like, we will have to just keep that in our mind. Hey, we got to be level 15. Dang it. Okay, so I'm going to have both of these up. There's Northern Barrens starting at the bottom. And then here's Northern Barrens. We have a few sitting at the top. Alright, cool. Just get ourselves ready. And at level 15, we come back to Orgrimmar. We'll learn our bronze type quests. So we can just jam through as much as we can. Really just building stones and stuff like that. Just go through as fast as we can. And we should, at some point in time, we'll make that our focus. Yeah, so we'll do Nomergon after we finish this zone. We do have to run that with both characters because there are Alliance and Horde versions of the Nomergon quests. I don't know which ones we're going to run it with. You do have to be level 10. So you also have to be in the Eastern Kingdoms. So for our Horde, I could bring someone over. Or we could get a level 10. We could take like one of our higher level characters and bring them over. Really, I could see it going either way. Yeah, now we can mine these guys. One-handed miner. Oh, we got copper ore out of that. That's cool. Okay. I don't know if that's going to continue, but I really came... I'll take that copper ore, though. We're not gaining mining XP, though, for that. That one we did. And there's another mining down here. Up on that hill. Look like they're kind of minding their own business. And then yeah, I can see it up there. Then we're going to cross over. And first thing we're going to do is sort of look at this area just as we explore. And go from place to place and see how does the game take us. Yeah, now as far as the Alliance, it'll be whatever. We're going to do anyone except our Druid. Take them down into Nomergon. Actually, I think it'll be iconic for us to take our Gnome into Nomergon. So we will have to take our Gnomish Mage, play around with her, get her up to level 10. So that's okay too. Just go it. She's also going to be our, I think, Tailor Enchanter, and that's something we also need to work on by the time we get to a Arathi. That mid-tier Deathless, like I said, that's going to have some things that need to get done. What is this? That's copper. Good. We want to keep having access to copper, so I think it's leveling in the Barrens is probably good. We want to be able to look at quests. After that, yeah, well, we will do Deathless. Like I said, there's a couple Deathless quests available. After Deathless is Scarlet. There's only a couple dungeons we're gonna do. Scarlet Monastery is not one of them, nor is Razor Fen Down, so we'll skip that. All Track Mountains really just has one quest, which is the Alliance Paranoid Tiara. So we will take a pause and run and do that quest at that time. Just kind of getting ore right now, knowing that we're going to need to create a stockpile. It's probably a little bit going out of the way, but it's also allowing us to explore the zone. Deathless, we do have some quests, I think, on Alliance and Horde, so we will have to do... But we still might be able to pull that off in one episode. Nomergon will most likely... I don't know. We might be able to pull off all of Nomergon in one episode, too. I'm not sure. Nomergon is a bit of a long dungeon. But now we can solo it. So I think that's going to make it much faster. There's the drop rate aspect of it that I don't know how well that's going to work out. Oh, you know what? I should have cooked some of my meat while I was here.
This stuff sells itself.
Okay, does it?
Pleasure doing business.
Alright, so he has... There are some quests here. Let's check it out.
Well, spit it out.
Well, why don't you buy some of my junk? I don't have recipes for that. That we need. Those we need. Okay, where's a... I want a fire. There's a fire. I want a fire so I can cook my boar meat. Yeah, we have 9 boar meat. I mean, that's just a nice organic way to level up our cooking. That's going to get us to level 10 cooking. Just making good use of that boar meat. Eggs, wolf meat, boar meat. Those are what we're going to be going off of here in the beginning. Maybe we find some recipes. Here's a flight path.
What's shaking?
Shaking bacon.
Keep your ear to the ground.
Alright, so what do we have here? We have Hyena Extermination, Sludge Investigation, and Sludge Beast. So, none of those sound familiar to me. Perfect. No, so none of those are old school. We have an innkeeper right here. That's neat.
Yo.
So now this is a whole new area. Didn't exist before. Kind of cool. So the goblins have really set up a little thing here. But on top of that, we also have this guy. He has Samaflange Repair, Samaflange, Competition, Schmompetition, Read the Manual, The Short Way Home. The only one that I'm thinking of is possibly the Samaflange. No, so that has now been changed. So none of these Samaflange quests. Well, Ignition is. So if we can still get Ignition. And the Escape. Those two. Alright, let's see exactly where Ignition and the Escape are. They are a little bit over, so they're still over. So that is one that we can still do. Ignition and the Escape. But the actual Samaflange part is totally different now, so we gotta change that one. Alright, cool. So let's go do... We're going to kick this zone off by doing Ignition and the Escape. This is also different that this is where you start out now. Start out... This is one of the last areas you might do... Well, maybe not one of the last, but it's kind of a little bit more obscure of a portion of the Barrens. And now
I
it's
need to get closer.
right up there. Yep, I can see that guy. Get some good killing. Oh, we got a wool cloth. Yep, give it to me. Give it to me. Actually, we need copper. I mean, we need... Why is this... What? Oh, that was an overseer. I was like, why does that guy seem stronger? Maybe we need to be... Maybe it's time. We need to find some gear. Could be part of our problem right now. There we go. Linen. I want to clear this guy out. I'll go back to looking at some of that stuff as we continue to play. If there's a little footstep, muddy tracks. Ignition. I don't suppose Spuddervalve sent you. I'm in a bind here. I hopped in without realizing that I need a key to unlock the Shredder's movement column. One of the other Shredder operators asked me if everything was okay, and I panicked. Instead of telling him that I was missing my key, I told him there was some sort of mechanical problem. We need to get out of here on the double. Search the upper level of the derrick. Supervisor Lugwhistle should have a key for this Shredder. Help me out here. This is one where we go upstairs and fight our way to the tip top. Okay, we're gonna fight this. Oh, it's a rare, a sludge anomaly. That's cool. The leather piece of gear here. So that's neat. Here we go. And we fight our way to the north. Okay. That's not him. I mean, if you guys have watched me do this a few times on Classic, it's the same. Got some water. Cool. Oh, you can see. Now he's kind of linked. You can see him padding around. That's neat. That makes life better. Okay, he came to... Uh-oh, we got a couple. Foreman, that's a rare too. So that's kind of cool that we got a couple rares. Okay, that's cool. We got the key. What else do we get here? Leather, cloth belt, water. We did get a nice two-handed sword upgrade. And we got a armor up. That we don't have. It's a warband. But it's male. However, this level 9 sword, that will be nice because the DPS is not that much better, but it does have those nice stat bonuses. So that's cool. Alright, so we got the key. Good on us. We have very little of the Barrens. If you look at the overall, our overall percentage, there's probably just a ton of junk that we can do. I mean, getting a couple rares just now, that's gotta be helpful, right? And Ignition, I don't know if that, I think this is Horde. Quick, we need to get out of here before someone gets suspicious. Yeah, this looks like the right key. Let me just make sure I know how to work this thing. Rotation control. This regulates speed and stability. Fine arm movement control. Just look at this. I can't believe the venture company could design something this much better than ours. I gotta get this back to the outpost.
Right back.
Okay, I hit level 16, which gave me shield block. Shield block, of course, you raise your shield block all melee attacks against you for 6 straight seconds. Totally different, that's part of our defensive adjustment, whatever. And Ignition. So if we look at Ignition, Ignition is now a Horde-only quest. So that's probably the main change to Ignition. I suppose I'll learn as we go. Couldn't be so hard. Just some buttons here, and a lever or two. Well, you ready to go? Yeah.
Glad I could.
All right. I think we can figure out how to operate this thing. All right. This isn't right. Okay, so we're level 6 now, by the way. Also, keeping it cool. Oh, okay. I think I got it now. Follow me, Glee Man. Old school escort. I think almost all escorts now allow you to control the show. Not this freaker. Oh, but at least they come. They're a little bit more into helping us. It's very quick if it is like the way it used to be. Where it used to just basically be you walk him up this hill, and maybe there's a fight near the end. So yeah, it's I am restricting myself by removing 2 of the 6 moves that I would have right now. So I'm cutting my options in third and making myself less survivable in order to use this beat stick. It's fine. That's the stolen shredder. Stop it. Or Lug Wizard will have our hides. Two guys. Looks like we're out of the woods, eh? I wonder what this does. Oh, let's go get that copper as soon as we're done. I'm running around like a bozo. Come on, don't break down on me now. That was a close one. Well, let's get going. We're almost there. I don't think this blinking red light's a good thing. Boy, boy. Okay, so now we need to go back and talk to that guy. Oh boy, do you suppose Spotify will mind if the shredder is just a little bit inoperable? I'll try to get it started again. You go ahead. I'll find my way back on my own. Alright, let's get this ore. And then go back and turn that one in. So that's cool. 2 quests down. Before, I don't remember. I think you remember each other. Probably all the way down in Ratchet or something. Alright, so this, we are cruising though. This is a nice place to play. Like, it's good, good zone, nice speed, getting decent loot as we play. All good, all good. Alright, so after we do Alterac Mountains, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's just gonna have the Paranol Tiara. Then Arathi Highlands. Now, Arathi Highlands, I don't really think there are any specific quests for that. However, that is when we're gonna pause and we're gonna go into hyper mode with our 2 people that are gonna work on enchanting and tailoring. So life will slow down a pinch there because we'll need to get both of those people up to 200, I think, whatever it takes to get triage. Because then we're gonna have to go do triage, and that is gonna be for the Horde. That will be in Arathi Highlands. I think actually it's Dustwallow Marsh for the Alliance. So actually, that at that point in time, we'll just do the Horde version. So we'll take our Warlock, who we will have already gotten a little bit up for Nomergon, and we will...
GTL, friend. Gambling, tinkering, laundry. Keep it real.
He wrecked it? Sputtervalve mutters angrily to himself before continuing. Hopefully we'll be able to get something of value from the wrecked shredder prototype. My business depends on it. I'll start tearing that sucker apart and we'll see what makes it tick. Huh. Let me give you something for your trouble, too.
Go get him.
I thought he said bro. Braces of angry mutterings, which we couldn't do. We just completed the escape. Also again, Horde only. The escape. Perfect. Alright, so, what next? If we look at the Morshan Ramparts... actually, let's go ahead. We'll fly over there and then work. I don't think Morshan Ramparts has anything that is... I think it's technically Asher
Yeah,
Vale.
what do you want?
And where are we at? 5 copper. I'll fly over there. Just to help us from backtracking back and forth. Then we'll kind of work our way down here. I don't think there's anything down there. There's Harpy Raiders, there's Kolkar Leaders, there's Drag It Out of Them. So what do we got here? Into the Raptor's Den. Counterattack is over there. That's decent. So I think what I'll do is I'll work my way down over here now. So then we have this middle band. You look at Southern Barrens. That's got Wailing Caverns in it now, but there's no real quests. All of it's different. So I'm going to work my way over to Harpy Raiders. And we'll look at these quests as we go back kind of from the south right here. Where are we at on time? How are we doing? How are we doing? Okay, we're doing solid. Alright, so all these guys require level 7. Those are all at, because they're all considered Ashenvale quests, and we're only level 6. So no worries about that. Yeah, what... then that's tier 1, 2, 3. That's tier 4, so that'll bring us halfway through the game. Tier 5 begins with Swamp of Sorrows. I do not think there's any Swamp of Sorrows quests available still. Then the Badlands, I think there's like 1 or 2 quests, very few. We'll do that. But then Uldaman, the quests to have us inside the discs exist. I don't know if they're neutral or what, so those might require us to... We're going to have to run Uldaman at least once, maybe twice, so that'll be another thing. Okay, here's Drogar. He has a quest called A Burning Threat. I don't think that's a thing. Burning Threat. No. So this is a new thing. The Burning Blade being here, but nothing that we are going to do today. A Barren's Boar? You're going to die, Barren's Boar. Oh. That gave us no XP and no... So everything up in that little area, I don't know if it's instance part of the story, I don't know, but... Same thing when you kill those guards. No loot, no XP. I don't know what the story is about that. There's more copper. Give us some mo. Alright, so we're going to walk down now over... We're going to do diagonal path and head over to the Harpy Raiders. And Kolkar Leaders. Drag It Out of Them. I do not think Drag It Out of Them is a quest. If you look at Harpy Raiders and Kolkar Leaders. Let's see. Harpy Lieutenants. We have... Harpy Lieutenants again. Harpy Lieutenants, Harpy Lieutenants. There's 2 of those. Serena Bloodfeather. I don't see either of those. Any of those, really. I could have sworn Kolkar Leaders was one of our quests. Okay. So... Now, Mending Old Wounds, that one might be holding off for us a little bit. That one we're going to have to check out. Alright, so first of all, into the Raptor's Den. I don't freaking know. Where does that start? That starts Dead Center Crossroads. I mean, that just might be where we need to go soon. Okay, at least we get some XP for these guys. Let's go up here. Yeah, interesting. I guess we could just do that rather than... Could just go down to the crossroads. Could have flown that way, but... I really felt like...
I'm out of range.
Oh, there's Jodness Peak. There's more over there. Kind of go this way, I guess. Why not? Oh, we got a whole pack of dudes. Alright, I got you. Just pick one off. I don't need to kill your whole squad. More copper. There's copper at the tip top I could have grabbed, but... Got some malachite now. Alright, yeah, I want to go over here and see it. I really could have sworn Harpy Raiders was a quest. What do we have? Harpy Lieutenants. Oh. See, and then that says it's tied to Harpy Raiders right before it. Harpy Raiders. Yeah, Harpy Raiders is a real quest. It's just for whatever reason, it's calling itself Harpy Lieutenants. Like, if you click Harpy Raiders here, it does say added in that patch. It does say get Witchwing Talons, so that's just a glitch in the way WoW has it coded. Because then it opens Harpy Lieutenants right after. Because you see, if you notice on here, you have Harpy Lieutenants, and then you have, over here, Harpy Lieutenants. So what the heck is that about? So Harpy Raiders is a real quest, so that's good. I felt weird about that. I did feel like, what the heck is going on? Alright, so let's go to the other side of the mountain. This little mini mountain here. Grab Harpy Raiders. And that will be a start. We can do this little Harpy line. I'm pretty sure we can do that whole line. That's new. Oh, you know, I don't know where you as a listener, as a watcher, everybody kind of has their own opinions, right? You know what to say. Everybody has their own opinions, and opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has them, and they all stink. You know, and we might have differences in beliefs about religion or politics or whatever the topical sports teams. You guys might see my purple and gold and be like, oh my gosh, I hate that guy. But I'll tell you right now, one thing I think could get this world united would be if we found a way to band together and just end all spam calls. I think I get 2 to 3 every episode we're doing. Just vibrating my watch and my phone. And, like, how can we seriously not do better as a society? Also, how is it, I don't know, I don't care how much spaghetti on the wall approach you're taking. These people that are out there, you know, whatever, sitting in like, basically, like, call centers, working for no pay. You just are getting a cut of whatever scam you can pull off, knowing that you are a scammer. So, you are recruiting people that are so... Look, I think given a choice, all things being equal on Earth, if you had the option to make money, the same amount of money, doing an honorable profession, and by that I mean one that is not blatantly seeking at its core, in its identity, to exploit others, such as spam calls. They have no gain. They're not even trying to sell you anything. Spam calls are not about that. They literally want to rob you. And I don't know what the deal is. There's an elixir that we can send over to our troll. Do that at when we get to a mailbox. Alright. Here we found this little guy. He does have Harpy Lieutenants. He does have Harpy Raiders. And he will have Serena Bloodfeather at some point.
Speak.
So we can pick up both at the same time. Slitting throats and stabbing backs is what I do best. This is Darsock Swiftdagger. He's a rogue. I don't suppose you want to help with some of that, do ya?
Strength.
Since you're here, warrior, perhaps you can help me with a small problem. The blasted harpies have been raiding our caravan supplies for too long. It's time we slit a few of their throats and diminish their numbers. The most devastating attack will destroy a good section of their lower chain of command, and then we can work our way to the top. Take out witch-wing harpies of any kind in the northwest and bring me 6 witch-wing talons. That should be a good start. And now you can right off the bat pick this one up with it. Harpy Lieutenants. The only way to stop the Harpy Raiders is to destroy their chain of command. The Harpies are led by fearless lieutenants, witch-wing slayers. If the slayers fall, the rest will follow. Go to the dry hills and cut down the witch-wing slayers. Make sure they die painfully, Gleeman. We want those Harpy wrenches to know the idiocy of picking fights with the Lord. So, you know, I saw, and I'm sure people have heard and seen similar, but I watched one of those, like, or maybe I read like a long form, but you know, there are these people that almost like with To Catch a Predator or whatever, you know, like people that will like pretend to be like little girls or whatever, or little boys, and then try to catch like pedos and put them on blast. Like I'm pretty sure there's like vigilantes online that also. Yeah, it's kind of weird too. We live in this economy. It's like, you're a vigilante, but you're getting a hell of a lot of likes and subscribes, and you know your videos are getting a lot of hits. So it's more like heroes for hire. I don't think that there are really true. There's very few pure vigilantes anymore. Everything is monetized now, which you know what? More power to it, because you're sure as hell getting exploited no matter what else you do. So, no matter, almost, I think without fail, unless you're working for yourself, and even then, you're contributing to a system that probably sucks, and is eating some of what you bring in unnecessarily with middlemen and product. Alright, 15-second cooldown, spell interrupt. Heck yeah. Alright, so, we now have a stun. That's a great one as we hit level 7. But yeah, it was like, you know, some dude that he like reverse, you know, he traced the IP, and he actually went to, I don't remember if it was just a dude, or if it, like a vigilante dude, or if this guy was a reporter, a little of this, little of that. But he went to, I can't remember if this was, like I said, Pakistan, India, it was something like that. But he went to like one of these centers. Oh, we have a savory, deviant, delight, 85 cooking, but we can save on that. Or we can send that to our rogue, because she's going to be the person that really gets behind all of that stuff. We are eventually going to need to have our someone maxed out on cooking, too. Yeah, and you're just, you know, it's... Oh, we just completed Harpy Raiders. Just let us turn it in right now. The Witchwing Harpies live in the dry hills to the north. You drop the last Witchwing talent into your bag. Thanks to you, the lower ranks of the Witchwing Harpies will no longer be a problem for Darsock's caravans. Cool. You don't even have to go back to him. It's just done now. What was it called? Witchwing Harpy Raiders. That one isn't listed, and it might be because of all that, but it is technically a quest that was started back then. All right, so now we got to go find these slayers. Anyway, my point of all of it is that, like, the people that are participating in it, on the one hand, it's a choice. They are choosing to do a dirtbag thing. On the other hand, they live in poverty and their options are limited. So, I'm not saying that justifies being a dirtbag and being a thief. Which you are. You're a thief. And you can argue that you're stealing, you're Robin Hooding it. I'm sure that's how everybody has to sleep at night in their own story, you know? So you tell yourself that you're Robin Hooding it, that, you know, you're stealing from people that live in the United States of America, regardless of whatever you think about politics in the world. The standard of living for even, like, people that live in poverty in the United States of America is a whole different class compared to people that are living in poverty in other parts of the world. There you go, Harpy Lieutenants done. You examine the destruction around you and nod in satisfaction. Harpy Leaders have been dealt with, for now. Okay, so Harpy Lieutenants, and that does actually open up. L-E-U-T-N-S. And that opens up. That's Harpy Lieutenants. And that was Harpy Lieutenants. But it also opens up Serena Bloodfeather. So that is a real quest we can pick up. The Harpies you've killed mention their matron, Serena Bloodfeather. Judging from their vile hatred toward the Horde, she must hold some kind of deep-seated grudge. You decide to hunt down Serena Bloodfeather and end matters once and for all. Kill her. Don't forget her head. Oh, here's another, Oh, I forgot I could interrupted her. Aha. That time I did it. There you go. What do we got here? That's mail. One more level, we can start wearing some of this stuff. I want that ore over there. Anyway, so I just my philosophy in life is I try to adhere to a tenet of I try to start from a place of playing devil's advocate and trying to understand why people might make the choices they make. Ultimately, I still may find that I don't agree with them, or that I would not make that choice. But everybody, like I said, everybody has to go to sleep at night. Everybody wants to be the hero of their own story. And you find a way to tell yourself, if nothing else, hey, I did what I had to do. I'm doing what I have to do. I'm doing the best I can with the situation I'm in. Stuff like that. We all say stuff like that. Or a lot of people do. Regardless if other people would more, people that are objective would agree with you. That being said, I still want them all to pay. I want it to be over, because at the end of the day, it's organized crime. You might be a victim yourself in the greater situation. And if I could find a way to make the people that are organizing it, the middlemen running these organizations, or even better yet, the freaking fools that created the software that have made this so endemic, that's who I want taken out behind a barn. Dude, you have the wherewithal and you have the technological capacity to get a real job. I don't care who you are, where you think you're from, or anything like that. If you can create software that can spam me at 20 times a day and spoof my call, even if you can hand that off, and 99% of that is even done by just low skill guys that can just work a modem. Someone somewhere started this and are continuing to advance it and tweak it and make it more efficacious. People working on that end, you gotta go to prison. I'm not saying gotta go to jail. I mean gotta go to, like, ending your existence. But I'd be happy if they and how can we, like, freaking have all the resources to do whatever, have the mental capacity to really create some crazy things, and yet we cannot figure out how to stop this? It's just crazy. I'm sure there's a good reason. I'm sure there's a very intelligent reason why it's very difficult to end spam calls. But if we could just drop everything else, we could stop. I'm willing to put everything else on hold. Any other types of political missions, military missions, just put it all on hold and stop spammers from spamming me, please. And in my opinion, the world would be a lot better. So there's and I've had like every now and then, you know, most of the time I'll just hang up, ignore, whatever. And actually, I read somewhere recently that that's actually not the best. The best thing to do is to just not even pick the phone up at all. Like,
I can't carry anymore.
I mean, he can't use that, but what am I going to do with a mana potion here? Gosh. I got to sell some things. I'll drop my one refreshing water. Mana potion will sell for a little better. We're getting a lot of tin up in these hills. I need to go down there, and then we also gotta sell. But there's been time I've done, just like a lot of people probably, I've kind of run the gamut. Sometimes I've gone there and been like, you suck, which I do. Again, I think they suck. Because it's all relative, and yes, you might be preying on... Because ultimately, who falls for it? Mostly you're going to get people that are senior citizens, which means the chance they're living on a fixed income is much higher. Even if they're not, even if you get somebody that's retired and it's totally fine, even if you decide to be smart and you just peel off a little bit of the money from time to time, like maybe you set yourself up with a $60 recurring payment. Because that's the smart way to do it. You can't go wipe someone's bank account out. Yeah, you could, but it's more smart. It's smarter rather than to just eat the victim to like Matrix style, just live off them like a battery. Don't bleed them dry. Don't be, you know, just. And I've fallen, or you know, you can get whoever. So I guess whatever. I have fallen for this. I've fallen for a scam once in my life. It was a perfect storm of events where I had a PC and I did not realize, but something was, I don't remember, but I was having an actual hardware problem that was causing my computer to overheat. And because of that, I didn't realize, I was younger, I was probably around, this is probably about, I mean, I wasn't crazy young though, I was old enough to know better, but I was younger than I am now. This is probably 15, let's say 15 years ago. And my computer is just really running slow, and I had stripped it down to the studs, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. So I decided, you know what, I think I need to actually like call a technician and have someone help me with this actual problem. What ended up happening was, like I said, the actual hardware, something was dying. And it very shortly, let's say like within a few weeks of this, the whole computer, like it literally like blew up, smoke pouring out of it, the computer died. So in the interim, when I was looking for a person, I looked up, and on Google, the first Google sponsored response was Microsoft Windows sponsored company, a repair company, like the official endorsed by Microsoft. All that sounds legit, right? It was not. Despite the fact that it was a sponsored top of Google answer, despite the fact that it was a Microsoft endorsed, official Microsoft whatever, it was a scam. You're not getting anything until I see Serena's head.
For the Horde!
Ah, well done, Gleeman. Very well done. I wasn't sure you were up to the task, but you've proven yourself quite the cutthroat. Thank you again for helping us suppress the Harpy epidemic. Here is your reward. Use it well. We're going to need to ditch something else, too. I'll ditch this single drop of slime.
Victory!
And we're level 8. That's great. That gives us a taunt. So taunt is... I'll put that down there. Taunt is a little bit different. You know, that's... Or maybe I don't even know where I really want to put it somewhere in the middle. Because we can use taunt. This is report to Thork. Is that... So Serena Bloodfeather is now Is report to Thork on the mission. No. So now let's walk over and check up this Kolkar Leaders. Even though Kolkar Leaders, I could have sworn that was a quest. But I don't see it there. Yeah, where am I getting counterattacked from then? Okay, and then, yeah, if we look at counterattack, where's Kolkar Leaders? See, but then this is what's weird. It says it's available. So what's going on here where it's not listing? I don't see Kolkar Leaders. Why? So it's not like what? So this is a problem. How come I'm not seeing that? It is added in this patch, but it is not showing on the overall list. Is it because it's so what if I open this up? Just do Northern Barrens quests. And additional filter added in expansion. No. Added in patch. Less than or equal to whatever we're on. See, that only gives me 30 quests. And I don't, this is, what is it? 11.1. And yeah, see, but then you look here, that is when this was added in the patch. So I'm a little sketched out about this quest. Why is this not appearing? I wonder if it's tied to, I just don't know. I don't know why it's not triggering as being the original quest. So we just have to be careful. I have to be careful when we look at that. Luckily, we played through these quests, so that's a kind of a benefit for us. We've played through, and we know our business. So report. I guess let's look up report to Thork because I don't remember that one. If that one is or isn't. Report to Thork. This was not. That is a... That's a newer one.
Inventory is...
Yeah, we got to get out of here. Oh, I can put this in. This is a +1 strength, +2 stam. That's just a good straight up buff. We got to get a... shop. We got to find a shop. We are overflowing. So anyway, that's okay. We'll just we're gonna just patrol the land. We're gonna look for everything we can. We're gonna check the different quests. So for instance, Samaflange. I guess let's go back and look at that Samaflange quest. Samaflange quest, not classic though. See, that was added in 113 too. We're not looking for classic. We're looking for retail. So let's look in retail, Samaflange. Because there is a quest called Samaflange. Yeah, that was not added into 406. So that version of the quest line, so that's true. So it exists. It does exist. It's a new version of the quest, the different quest ID number, all that stuff. Drag it out of them. That one, I'm pretty sure. There's Barak Kodobane. We do need to kill him as part of Kolkar Leaders. anyway, so with my scam, so I call the company on the phone, and it was all now. Rude, as messed up as this is, I was a little bit more willing to give the benefit of the doubt 15 years ago, but it was someone with an accent, so you know, some kind of East Indian accent, or West Indian accent. I mean, not Indian, some kind of like Western Asian accent, maybe Indian, maybe Pakistan. I don't know. I'm not an expert in all that, and I let them do, again, here's no number 2. I walked through the steps to allow them to install a keylogger, not a keylogger, but, you know, a remote control app device so they could remotely control my thing. It was a girl that did it, so that, you know, lowered my guard probably too. And the kicker was, because this was a dying computer, computers like humans often go through this phase of last gasp where all of a sudden you really seem like you're improving, but it's like that last gasp before you die. And that happened to my computer right as a result of this, where all of a sudden my computers did seem improved. Now, luckily, I never got they never got like any money. I think I did pay for this service, so they did get an initial amount of money, whatever it was. You know, $50, $75. I don't remember. Not a crazy amount of money, but whatever I paid. They got initial money. I paid them to scam me. And then they did nothing to my computer. And I guess probably what saved me was that, like, immediately within the next day or so, the computer blew up. So that's probably what saved me, because there was nothing. And also I'm very, kind of, you know, like some people are crazy anal about, like, covering up their camera on their webcam. I don't care. I'm not saying that I don't think someone could hack my webcam on my laptop and watch me. I just don't care if they do. Go ahead, watch me. If that's Now, I guess if you're gonna watch me, because you can't see the keyboard, what would I really be worried about? You're gonna if you're gonna hack it and can control my camera. But that's just for work anyway, so I especially don't care if you want to watch me at work, knock yourself out. Worst case scenario, what do I say? Something unflattering about someone that is in a position of authority above me at work, but I highly doubt I'm getting hacked for that. And even if I am, okay, whatever. I guess I will have to continue to not get promotions. Alright, so we have a couple quests here. It's called A Little Diversion. I don't think that is a real quest. Do not remember that quest being real. But this other person up here, Kolkar Leaders, this should be a real quest.
Hail.
The centaurs have plagued the torrent for years, and recently the Kolkar centaurs of the Barrens have grown into a real threat. Normally, they were disorganized in these lands, but new leaders have risen among them, rallying them. To preserve our holdings here, these centaur leaders must be destroyed. Bring me the head of Barak. He camps west of these forgotten pools. Defeat him, then return to me.
You're darn tootin' I will. Yeah, what's it called? A Little Diversion? I'm pretty certain that's not a quest for Warcraft. I mean, yeah, that's a Cataclysm quest, so perfect. We just have to check everything down. Now that I realize, for whatever reason, a lot of these quests are not appearing. For whatever reason. Now, this one you could speculate that it's because, I don't know, because maybe that quest giver didn't exist, so maybe that's creating some sort of like,
I can't carry anymore.
maybe it's creating like a little cognitive dissonance or whatever with the server, where it's like, okay, you say the quest existed, and yet the person that's giving it out didn't exist. So how can you square that circle? I love the ability to interrupt those fools. So anyway, when I got scammed, the one thing they did get out of that was, I guess perhaps they got my credit card information, but like I said, they never did anything noticeable. My wife and I are pretty anal about going through charges. Like, I can't remember. I mean, like, if there's a little charge, there's a high chance that my wife will, or myself will catch it and be like, why is there $15 charged to this thing? Where did that, what did you buy from there? And we're not doing it to like be crazy about each other. It's because we've caught things before. We've caught silly things where it's like a Chuck E. Cheese 5 states away, all of a sudden is charging us. You get your companies get their data breached all the time. So, how many times a year do you get a letter saying, "Oh, such and such company that has all of your secret data has been compromised." But my phone number got in the system and must have been flagged as like, this guy is a rube. And so I'm telling you, for the next 5 to 10 years, 2 to 3 times a day, I'd get a call from a real person.
Hello, Gleeman. Do you have Kodobane's head for me?
Farewell.
Well done, Gleeman. Kodobane is just one strand of a tangled thread. There are other Kolkar leaders to kill elsewhere in the Barrens. Seek out my companions at the other oases if you wish to press the assault. What can we toss? I guess I'll toss this one raptor egg.
Be careful.
Is that real? Yes, those are actual new boots. So we went from a 3 armor to a 6 armor, plus 2 strength, plus 3 stam. Love it. Kolkar Leaders is now done on our thing. And it was probably a solid 10 years. I really started having almost like a relationship with these people. All right, I think what we do now is, I think we're going to head on down to the crossroads. That one's done. Drag it out of them. If I look at that one, I'm pretty sure drag it out of them. Wow. This is a little quest that was added in Cataclysm. I guess we'll walk over there and just take a peek. But I kind of want to go down to the... So we'll go just clear this, just to make sure there's nothing along the way. And then we'll head down to the crossroads, and we will stop on the crossroads. We'll sell. We'll get our stuff going. So like I said, I've kind of done it all. What the heck? Those are like high-level people chilling. Sometimes I've gone in there and been like, yeah, like I said, I've gone in there and been like, oh, you're a piece of crap. Sometimes I've gone in there and I've played along. Sometimes I've been honest and legit and been like, come on. Like, sometimes I've gone and appealed to their sense of decency. Like, this is bad. You are not doing a good thing. I've had people laugh at me. I've had people mock me. I've had people, the easiest thing is hang up and move on. But they're humans too, and you catch them on a bad day. I've had people joke, like almost prank call me, like it's obviously some young, immature douche. I've had people joke right along with me. I've had people laugh at what I'm saying. One of my favorite running gags I used to do was... Oh, crap. Dude, we're talking like one shot, one kill over here. Oh, man, really? Lame. So second death. I didn't realize that dude was gonna like aggro, walk up, insta kill. I don't know what is happening over here in this zone, but clearly it is not meant for people of my level. I'm looking forward to messing around with some mining. Like, we've gotten ourselves a nice collection. 64 copper, 61 stone. We have 50 and 17 wool. We have 8 tin on top of that. So we can really start thinking about what we're gonna need for our recipes when as soon as we can start making bronze, we will start making bronze. Honestly, this guy might get to like level 15 before it all begins, and I can at least pick up the quests and start keeping the things I make in my bank in Orgrimmar. One of my favorite responses or conversations I ever had with the spammers. Really, bro? I gotta be like... was, that guy up there. I wanted to... There is the copper over there. It was right around like Christmas time one year, and this guy calls me, and he's like, you know, starts a spammer team. And I told him like right off the bat, I'm like, look, hey man, I understand that you feel that you need to do this, but it's not going to happen. I'm not going to give you my information. It's not going to happen. But if you are interested in like having a conversation, if you want to talk with someone, if you want to make a friend today, I'm down to talk. If you're curious about me, about my life, you know I'm curious about things about your life. We could just talk. And the guy, like this it sounded like a young dude, and he was like, yeah, let's do that. And we had a good talk for like 15 minutes about, you know, how life was over there, what was he doing for the holidays, you know, what was I doing, or was there a holidays, you know, what did they do at this time of year, what was the weather like at this time of year, yada yada yada. It was just a really wholesome talk, and it was like a breath of fresh air, I think, for both of us. And in the very end of the conversation, we were complimentary to each other, and we wished each other well. And this is Crossroads Caravan Delivery. Okay, that's the Groldom Militia. There's that consumed... Ah, there is quests here. There you go. Okay, so this thing... The Groldom Militia, that is definitely not a quest for us. That one, not a quest. But Consumed by Hatred, that's Mankrik, baby. That's the OG. Is there a shop around here? Because that's what we really need. There's by hook or by crook, drag it out of them, and the Tortusk takedown. None of those are real. But Consumed by Hatred... You know it. There you go. You know Consumed by Hatred is part of this. Where's the Far Watch Offensive? Yeah, actually, there's a couple versions. Okay, so Consumed by Hatred. Let's pick this up.
Loktar.
Where did I finish? Kolkar Leaders. Did I mark that off? Yeah.
They murdered my wife. They burned my homestead. Since that awful night I have traveled these lands, from the sun's rising till its decline.
Ooh, a two-handed axe. Heck yeah.
Scouring the horizon for more of those monsters. I've killed every pigman I've come across since, but my thirst for their blood is far from quenched. You, warrior, you could help me. Kill them. Kill as many as you can. Bring me their tusks and we will celebrate their deaths together.
Perfect. There's a humble... Is this Mankrik's wife? This humble monument? Beloved Olgra, wife of Mankrik. The small grave marker is lovingly inscribed with orcish runes. Took forever to find you, and now you're gone. Little call out to this day, one of the most famous, iconic inside jokes of Barren's and Barren's chat. Just. I'm a little annoyed that Mancrick's homies here can't give us a shop. Please give us a shop. I do like that he wants to give me a quest. Bro. Is that Darkmoon Fair over there? Oh yes, an innkeeper. I'm so thirsty for a shop. Take this from me. Okay. The sword I'm saving in the off chance that we get something better. Alright, do we go and do this? Where are we? Like I said, where are we on time? Alright, we can maybe kill. We can maybe do Consumed by Hatred. And I won't do any blacksmithing or anything yet. We'll get that all in one go, but see how fast we can kill Kolkar here. More recently, on the topic of scamming, I went on a run last year where I was really into, and so, you know, you guys, longtime listeners, I may have said some of these stories before. It's hard to say, you know, I'm definitely getting to be of an age where, I'm like, did I tell these stories before? And I guess it's one of the first signs of being an old fool. Just don't even know anymore. One tusk, okay. One tusk, one kill. And I don't know. But was it just one per dude? Okay. But anyway, I really went through a phase where
I'm out of range.
I'd be like, what are you talking about? Or I'd be like, I don't even believe in technology. Like, I don't own a computer. I went through a big phase for a long time where one of my responses was, I don't even own a computer. Because I used to get a lot of calls that were like, where, you know, we noticed that your computer is having issues again. So that's how I know for a fact. I got a note on my account from that whole situation that was like, you know, this guy's a fool. He had computer problems. He can be scammed in that area. Even though I basically, day of, I realized what an idiot I was. And that was like my one, fool me once, shame on you. Because I was really pigeonholed, but fool me twice, shame on me for sure. I will not ever be caught in a scam like that again. Knock on wood. I guess you can't really never say never, but still. So anyway, oh, I did the wrong thing. I was gonna hamstring them, but I accidentally did the silence hit instead. That little Kodo, that's probably one of those other quests. Alright, I gotta be more quick on the uptake, willing to... See if I can collect like a patch of dudes. Okay. Yeah, see that allows you to really have some sustained punch. There's Elixir of Giant Growth. That might have been the same other elixir that I have. Is that what the other one was too? Yeah. Elixir of Giant Growth. Yes, now I have two of them. Well, now I'm selling. Well, actually, I can give one to both my alchemists. I can be, since you can now send to Alliance too. So anyway, that was one of my favorite ones. We used to really be like I'm Amish or whatever. Like, I don't believe in technology. I'm off the grid, blah, blah, blah. And then they have to kind of be like, you could tell which ones are like, dude, you're an idiot, you're on a phone right now, and some of them that were just not knowing. It was just trying to come up with answers that are not on their bingo card was one of my favorite games to play. But most recently, I was like trying to really act like I was like really interested. I was like, oh my gosh, whatever they were trying to scam me. I think now they've changed after a while. I can't remember what, but I did do one. I don't know if it was that dude I talked to when we had the long conversation. I can't remember, but there was a conversation I had where at some point I clearly got marked like, this dude is more trouble than he's worth, I think. Or that company closed, my number got lost, or whatever. But there was a nice calm period where I stopped receiving all the calls, and it was just delicious. Short cutlass. Damage is trash, but hey. Right, level 8. But anyway, so once I started getting spammed again, I just, you know, whatever. I went on the internet, or I signed up for a GameStop card or something, and that got data breached. I don't freaking know what caused it, but I get spammed all the time now. My wife goes online shopping 8,000 times more than me, but I get spammed all the time. I would say I get roughly 15 spam calls a day with a voicemail on each one. It's never a real person. Very rarely when I answer is it a real person. But I did get a real person that called me a few months ago, and it was... And that might be too, like, I might get so many because, like, some of these people have revenged me and been like, put him on there twice. But, this person called in and I fully, like, hammed it up. I was like, oh my gosh. Whatever, like, the IRS is coming for me or whatever their scam was. And I was like, that is so, no, like, that's terrible. And I was like, you know, they're like, well, here's what we're going to need from you. I'm like, yeah, like, you know, let me give you, how can I speed this process up? Do you want my social security number? Do you, like, they're like, and you could just hear, like, their jaw drop. They're like, oh my God. And they're like, let me transfer you to my supervisor. And then the supervisor got on the phone and they were like, yeah, you know, I'll take your social security number, blah, blah. And then I was just like, dude, of course I'm not giving you that information. Like, this is ridiculous. And so they very well could have put me on there twice. It's done. So I screwed with them. Like, I'll laugh at them, like, are you out of your mind? You really think that worked? The Quillboar will pay for this, Gleeman. I swear it.
Dabu.
Warrior, you take my task seriously, and for that, I thank you. Although my desire for revenge remains, I can at least smile, seeing that the Quillboars have felt pain themselves. Oh, consumed by hatred. Love it. Iconic quest. Obviously, the other Man Crit quest is gone, but more important, the reason I'm actually more excited about the fact that we got this two-handed axe, which more than doubles our DPS, and plus gives us +3 strength, +3 stam, +4 crit. Absolutely loving it. What is it called? Mancrick's Boar Slicer. Heck yeah, buddy. Give me that. Alright, so now we're going to walk on down to the crossroads, and that's where we'll stop. This is another entrance over from whatever. I kind of like the way I'm doing it right now, and then what we'll do at the very end as we finish the zone is we'll go back to my list and be like, okay, into the Raptor's Den. How's that one work? Oh, man. But as you can see, like, when you actually do it, it's most of these are starting out of the crossroads, so I think we're gonna fill up our quest log from these quests and get a lot done, and then there might be a few out down here at the end.
Wailing Caverns, example of a dungeon that's completely changed. There we go. What do we get? We are now level 9, and we gain Whirlwind. Cost 20 rage, and hits everybody nearby. So it's an AoE, so it's a rage spender like Slam is, but it's for AoE. Cool. Bunch of dead tigers. And that's actually good because, you know, we were trying to... Maybe I'll drop these down here. That will allow me to pull my AoE one out a little bit. Pretty sure that one's a, more of a Fury move. Oh, we got a blacksmithing trainer. I'm not going to do any of my ore. I don't care about all that stuff, but we can at least mail off our goods as we hit the old Barren's area. A couple trainers. Don't know why they still exist. Here's our inn. And more. A beverage merchant.
Kolkar.
Hey, buddy, give me some. I want your finest milk.
How?
Cooking table. I don't think I have anything that can be cooked. My durability is 100%, so I guess I can just sell here. Let's go ahead and sell this. Ah, now this is significantly worse DPS, this short bastard sword of the quick blade. So we can sell that, and then let's go send out my recipes here. Oh, this inn has all these warlords command. I think this is just these are all breadcrumb missions. Alright, so let's send mail out. We're gonna send to our alchemist, which is Glee Incarnate. He's our alchemist, so he can have an elixir of giant growth. Okay. And then our dude alchemist is Glee Furioso. There we go. Back. He can have our other one. And then Glee Khan. She will be our one that focuses on cooking. Okay, so now we've sent some things to our alts, and we'll just keep collecting our base mats there. Thank you, everybody. I had a great time. We will continue this run tomorrow. There's a chance. I think there's a solid chance that we finish this zone tomorrow. I anticipated it taking us 2 days. We're right on schedule for that still. And then it'll be 1 to 2 days. So this weekend, it'll take us maybe 1, maybe 2. We should finish Nomergon. So we'll start that Friday. So Friday, Saturday, somewhere around there, we'll finish Nomergon. Desolus, and maybe the Arathi Highlands. Add that in there. So Saturday, Sunday will be around that. Badlands will be a quick finish in that too. We might do some blacksmithing. So we'll be right around the part where we're starting Uldaman when we pick up with our next week's episodes. So from now until then, we'll be pushing through the rest of Tier 3, Tier 4, and that will be Tier 5. Dustwall of Marsh and Stranglethorn Vale will be when we kick off like the following week. So that will take us to like the 3/4 mark of the game, and it'll be pretty cool stuff. Thanks everybody for watching, listening, and tuning in. I had an absolutely fantastic time with you guys, and I hope that you guys did too. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Lore of Warcraft. This one's in the pipe. 5x5.